Hi guys, it's Kelly here from Spiritual Awakening Signs, your guide to the spiritual awakening process. If you don't know me, I help people like you who are going through the awakening process to reduce their symptoms and make that awakening process just that little bit easier, because it's certainly not easy. And today's video is all about empaths. So we're doing a kind of Empath 101 to help you find out if you are an empath, the most common challenges of being an empath, and what you can do to make that process a whole lot easier. It's very difficult to be an empath, but it can be made much easier, and it can be a wonderful thing too. So we're going to get started today. Let's open up by just starting with the basics. So first we're going to talk about what really is an empath. What does it mean to actually be an empath? Well, an empath is a highly sensitive individual, a deeply feeling individual who can sense the emotions, the feelings and the energies of those around them. So they tend to read their environment and pick up things just like sponges. They're constantly absorbing information and energy from the world around them. They're the natural healers of this world. You could consider their presence here kind of the evolution of man. You know, we're shifting into this new 5D vibration, we're wakening up, we're really stepping into more compassionate vibration and energy. And that's really what it's all about. It's about being a really caring and compassionate individual, and empaths kind of have an extra sense that is highly attuned to everyone around them, and they can pick up the emotions and the feelings of what's going on around them because it's just a natural part of who they are. Unfortunately, that natural ability to soak everything up like a sponge can have its own challenges, and we're going to get into some of that. Because what I'm finding is that almost everybody on the spiritual awakening pathway is a natural empath. So if you're questioning if that's what you are, we're going to go into that in a big way in this video to help you to recognise and understand if you are an empath and what you can do to make it a little bit easier. So we'll get started on that. And also, as always, feel free to say hello, let me know in the comments your name and where you're coming from, and thank you for watching. So let's start with the big question: are you an empath? Well, what I can say is if you're going through the awakening process, there's a very high chance, it's almost 99%, that you'll be an empath. You'll be a naturally sensitive individual in many different ways. But we've got a few signs here that can help you really identify if that's what the case is. So common signs that you're an empath include you absorb other people's emotions and feelings like a sponge. You soak it all in. You pick up on the vibes and the feeling when you enter a room. You walk in and you know if something's off, if there's been an argument, if there's been conflict. You can just feel that vibration. You are compassionate and naturally caring and very understanding as a person. You're naturally intuitive. That's where the spirituality comes in. You're probably introverted and need a lot of time alone. That's certainly me. I know what it's like to be an empath. You need that downtime to shut off from the world and to recharge your batteries. You can't recharge them when you're around big crowds of people. It just doesn't work. You tend to attract energy vampires, or people who maybe take advantage or latch on to you, people who rely on you a bit too heavily. That's very common for empaths. You probably strongly dislike or avoid conflict, disharmony and negativity. You just can't stand it whatsoever. And you probably take on or sense other people's health complaints, their illnesses, or even their injuries. That's happened to me throughout time, and I know I've seen it previously with my clients. You know, you talk to someone or you spend time with someone who's got an ache or a pain or some problem, and the next thing you know, you're actually experiencing that, and you're questioning your sanity while that's happening. Happens very often. We're just picking up on that energy. You're probably easily overwhelmed as an individual, easily stressed and easily burnt out, and probably spend a lot of your time feeling quite fatigued or drained after you've been around even just a few people, but generally a lot of people or crowds. Cruelty, conflict, violence, harshness or attacking of any kind is absolutely abhorrent to you. You just don't understand why everything's so harsh here, why everyone treats each other the way they do. It's just too harsh for you. You can't bear to see other people in pain. It really hurts you. You feel it. You feel their pain as if it's your own. You're easily drained and exhausted by crowds, public places. So that's, you go out for the day and you're doing things and you feel absolutely exhausted as a result. And the last one would be that you naturally want to heal or help others. There's just this natural caring inclination that you want to make the world a better place. You want to help other people to heal and to feel better and to be happy in their own lives. Now, it's wonderful to be an empath because all those gifts are really beneficial. They do a lot for us. They do a lot for other people too. But it comes with a lot of challenges. It's really hard to be an empath. Because of this heightened nature that we've got, this heightened sensitivity and that ability to really feel so deeply, it can bring with it a lot of pain. Because with that ability to sense what's going on for other people and to feel your emotions so much more deeply than people usually do, you have the capacity to really feel a lot of pain. And that's the challenging part of awakening, particularly when you're empathic. Your sensitivity levels go up so high that it can feel almost unbearable to be around people, to spend time with people, to be in public places. It becomes really, really challenging. So if that's the case for you, don't worry. It can be eased and it can be changed, and we'll get into that in just a few minutes to cover that. So let's start to talk about some of the most common challenges of being an empath, because it can be really, really difficult. There are a few things that we need to watch out for. So the most common challenges are being too nice and getting taken advantage of. You'll probably really resonate with that. Being too nice and getting taken advantage of happens all the time because in our hearts we just want to help everybody, and there's not always enough of us to go around or enough energy to really sustain how much we want to help and heal others. So we tend to give too much. That's another sign. We generally become completely exhausted and burnt out, sometimes even resentful as a result of it. If we're really, really drained, we can actually become quite resentful because there's nothing left of us. We feel like everything's gone, and we feel overwhelmed and bombarded by energies or by feelings constantly. It's really challenging to feel that all the time. And obviously we feel the emotions, the illnesses, the energies, the ailments, even the injuries of other people round about us. We're absorbing their pain and taking it on as our own. So we're really feeling their pain as if it's ours. That's what happens. And we feel unable to tolerate the harshness of the world, which causes the need to hibernate, to withdraw, to disconnect and to pull away, leaving us feeling really isolated and alone, and that's not a good thing. Which kind of leads me into the next point, which is empaths don't really fit in here. Empaths don't really fit in Earth. We tend to trust people we shouldn't trust. We're easily misled. We can actually be a little bit naive if we're honest, and I put my hand up and say that's happened to me many times in my life. Because we're so nice, and we think that because we are gentle natured that everyone else would have that kind, gentle nature too, and not everyone does. Not everyone does here. So it's quite easy for us to be harmed, exploited, controlled, because we would never want to do that to anyone. Although we are human and we're still prone to some of the same little traits as humans, happens to all of us, but we would never really want to do that to someone. So it's completely damaging, disappointing and hurtful when other people do it to us, because we just can't comprehend how someone could treat us or others that way. It doesn't make sense to us. So that tends to create this real disconnect. We start to feel like we just don't fit in here at all, and this kind of disconnect from our current reality begins, and that makes it really difficult for us to be grounded here on Earth. Now, you'll hear me always say this: Earth isn't really the problem. I know it feels like it is, and I know that's probably been your experience up until now, but Earth isn't really the problem. The problem is that we as empaths vibrate at a higher frequency. We on some level remember who we are and where we came from, and the values, the morals, the virtues that we had in the different planes and realms that we existed on before we incarnated here on Earth. So we don't have that desire to lash out, to hurt, to harm, to play games. Like I said before, we're prone to any human trait. That's still possible, but it's not really in our hearts. It's usually a way of dealing with pain, past pain, hurt or trauma for us, because we're so sensitive, and it can feel that we're the only awakened beings in the world. That's when things start to get really lonely, really isolating and really maddening, because actually empaths are, to be honest, quite resistant to Earth. this is what I've found a lot when I've been working with people over the years. The more we start to feel at odds with the reality, the harsh reality of Earth, the more our energies are strained, because we start to kind of go like this. There's like a pulling motion where we're attached to the body, but the soul is trying to disconnect, disengage, leave and go back home. And you see it a lot, you know, a lot of, this is why we've got this kind of hippie stereotype where we're really dazed and not really sure what's going on, and we're a bit kind of flustered. It's because we're not really always that focused, because a part of us is always trying to go back home. We don't really get it. We don't really feel at ease here. So we're trying to escape all of the time. And that pulling motion with the soul trying to escape the body, trying to reach higher, trying to reach back home, creates this real disconnect and this massive ungroundedness that causes us all sorts of different physical, emotional and energetic symptoms that make things even more difficult for us to be here. Causes challenges in the physical body too, and it causes things like chronic loneliness, feeling dizzy and spacey, being unable to concentrate or really focus here, longing to go home even if you don't quite know where home is, and even in extreme cases feeling completely disassociated from reality or from the real world. That's when these mental health challenges start to come in, because we've disengaged so much, just like, you know, children that go through trauma, we've disengaged so much that the real world doesn't feel real anymore. That can happen too, causes big problems. But what I can say is that there is hope at the end of this. It's not always going to feel like an unbearable harsh reality here. What I'm finding from the work that I've done over the last few years in myself and in my clients is that you were not energetically prepared before you made the transition here to Earth. So before you actually incarnated here on the Earth plane, you were not properly adjusted. Your sensitivities weren't adjusted. Your energy levels weren't adjusted. You weren't made compatible with the density of Earth. And what seems to have happened is that we had this call that went out. So you hear lots of different people talk about this. The call went out that Earth's in trouble. Earth needs more souls, more enlightened souls to come and help lift that vibration, bring it into a higher vibration, into 5D reality. And for many of us, no matter what realm we were on, no matter if we had never incarnated on Earth before, we all raced to put our hands up because we wanted to help. We were all desperate to put our hands up and volunteer. And what's happened is, because of the way there was such a rush and urgency to that, we were given no preparations. I see this a lot. A lot of people feel as if they were forced to come down here against their will, or that they wouldn't have chosen it. It's not really the case. It's more often than not that we just weren't prepared. We also didn't really understand how tough it was going to be here on the Earth plane. The Earth plane is incredibly dense. Emotions are incredibly intense. There's lots of different aspects to the Earth plane that people on other realms would really give you big respect for coming here in the first place. It's really tough. So that's what I'm finding. A lot of us just weren't activated or adjusted so that our natural vibration of our soul was actually compatible here with the energies on Earth, meaning that it makes being here pretty much intolerable. It can make it really difficult to feel at ease here. So there are a few signs that you may not have been energetically prepared before you came down to the Earth plane, before you incarnated to the Earth, and you might have still had lots of different lifetimes here on Earth, but you've probably had this same struggle of not really feeling at home. So here are the key signs: depression, isolation, feeling disconnected from others, feeling lonely or that you don't fit in, or feeling that there is no one else here like you. That's a really big indicator. Finding your emotional sensitivity just too much to bear. It's unbearable to feel how deeply you feel your emotions and feelings, and feeling completely devastated by the harshness of the world, the conflict, the intensity. It can feel absolutely devastating to you. So the downside is, if you're watching this video, you probably think I'm giving empathy a really bad rap. I know that it looks bad, and I know that it sounds really challenging, and it is. And you're probably panicking if you're nodding yes to any of these things that I'm saying, and maybe you're resonating with them. So even if you're watching live, or if you're watching the replay, comment below and let me know if you're resonating with any of this. Please share it with us, because we'd love to hear from you. But what I want you to know is It doesn't have to be that way. It does not have to be that way. And actually, all the things that I've just highlighted above are usually a telltale sign that we are chronically ungrounded and lacking the proper energetic adjustments and activations required to actually be here and to be at ease, to be comfortable here. So what I want you to take away from this video is that empathy is only painful, challenging and difficult when we're completely ungrounded, and when we don't have those energetic preparations in place. And I've seen it so many times. People come to me, I've had clients over the years, they come and they say they can't handle the world. They tell me it's too harsh for their sensitive nature, which I totally get because I've been there too and I've felt like that many times. And they're picking up too much from the world around them. And my heart goes out to them because I totally empathise. I'm an empath too. I know how hard that is. But I also start to feel uplifted because I know that when they start to embrace some of these grounding techniques and they start implementing using these energy downloads, that their empathic ability will be absolutely transformed. It's going to completely change and they'll be on their way to really harnessing their power and emanating that divine love and light that they came here to express, they came here to share, and fulfilling their soul's purpose as part of that, which is your greatest joy too. This is all meant to be really, really joyful stuff. So if it's not, you're out of balance, something's out of alignment somewhere along the way. And the best way to fix it is to get grounded and to get those activations in there that just realign all your energies and adjust all the sensitivities to make it comfortable to be here on the earth plane. Because there are some amazing gifts as part of being an empath that people often don't realise. Amazing gifts. So we've got things like being able to energetically radiate divine love and light. That's just an effortless energy that just beams out of us all the time. You're able to comfort, to help, to heal others without taking on their issues, their emotions or their energies. And that's really important. If you're a healer or if you have natural healing abilities and you find that you constantly take on this stuff from other people, you're probably missing those energetic adjustments. And there's a program in place that often causes us to take that on, to transmute it for others. So we do it through our physical body, which is extremely limiting and makes us really unwell. And there's a download to clear that in this month's meditation, which I'll go into in a little minute if you're having problems with that. Gifts of being a balanced, grounded empath are able to intuitively sense the energies around them without being negatively affected by it. So that's where you can pick up things, you know what's going on, but it's not toppling you, it's just information. You don't have to feel it in your body, you're just sensing it and picking up on it. You're able to set healthy boundaries in a fair and compassionate way. Big challenge for us as empaths, but it can be done. And able to fulfill your soul's greatest mission and your greatest passion at the same time. Those two things bridge together, just like they have for me, so that everything's really balanced and you're living your purpose, you're living your greatest joy, and you're serving earth while you're here. You're uplifting the vibration while you're here too. But there's no two ways about it. Empaths absolutely need to be grounded in order to be balanced enough to really be their true authentic selves, to be safe in the world and to fulfill their life's purpose and their soul mission, their greatest joy. So that's really what it's all about. Feel free to comment below and share with me your experience of being an empath. What's your biggest challenge? What do you see coming up? Because I'm more than happy to help you with that, and I'll be around commenting afterwards. So even if it's on the replay, give me some feedback and let me know what's going on for you. So if you would like some help with that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we've got. We've got some great resources that can actually help you. So first off, we've got this month's meditation, which closes tomorrow. Okay, there's not long left if you're wanting to get that. It's called the Emanating Empath, and it will help you to balance your empathic ability to levels that are more manageable. So this is some of the adjustments that we were talking about that you didn't get before you came down here. Starting to make those adjustments now. We're going to lessen the intense sensitivity that you have and increase a sense of inner strength so that you feel stronger while you're here. You can handle it and you've got more ability to connect to that inner strength that you have. You can shield against toxic or unsafe influences. You can clear toxic radiation energies from technology that you've picked up. We pick that stuff up all the time, and it gets really clouded up around here. If you get a lot of headaches, you get a lot of migraines, pain in the eyes, it's usually from picking up those toxic energies from the internet, your mobile phone, your TV, being around computers and things like that really affects it. It'll increase awareness, and it'll help you to be energetically equipped and prepared for the earth plane. So this is the programming that you didn't get when you were rushed down here to help, which is admirable, but we really need it now, because there's a lot of people really suffering and struggling as a result. So if you don't know what it is, it's a bit like a cross between an intuitive energy healing session and a relaxing guided meditation. It's an energy healing session channeled directly from a collection of high vibrational guides who are dedicated to helping us throughout the awakening process. They will work with you individually. So as I'm channeling this energy, they are specifically tailoring all the little levels that you need to appropriate levels for you. So even if you're in a place where you're quite ungrounded and you can't use meditation and energy healing, this is absolutely safe. They will adjust it all perfectly for your energies and for the frequency of wherever you actually originate from. And they will help you to be properly prepared for the earth plane and for your awakening too. What else? Let's see what else we need to get. Yes, so it's a pre-recorded video full of energy healing, energy clearing and energy activations, and it's a calm and relaxing meditation that is done in around 20 minutes. That's all it takes, but it's only available until tomorrow. You can also try out a free mini meditation by clicking preview in the course curriculum, which I will link to in the comments box below. We've also got Grounded Awakenings, which closes tomorrow for good. I don't know when we'll relaunch this course, because it's been a number of years since we launched it the last time. I don't have any plans at the moment to relaunch it, so if you're wanting it, this is as cheap as it's ever going to be, the best price it's ever going to be. Grounded Awakenings will help you to ground your energies instantly, to feel stabilised, calm and in control of your awakening, to reduce those challenging awakening symptoms like overwhelm, anxiety, high sensitivities, psychic senses being out of balance. Will clear stuck or blocked energies for you. It will heal the broken soul, will heal the broken heart. We do past life healing, and we teach your energies how to support the awakening process with the proper energetic foundation. So again, these things can work together. The Emanating Empath and Grounded Awakenings can work together. You can try it right now for free. You can try a whole lesson of the energy activations completely for free with the energy healing by clicking preview in the course curriculum. And just as an update, so you know, I'm actually giving away one of our most popular meditations, the Rainbow Light Energy Clearing meditation, which will clean and cleanse your aura, your chakras and your energy field, and cut unhealthy attachments to negative relationships. Big deal for empaths. It's worth $62. You get it absolutely free as part of Grounded Awakenings with every purchase. So Grounded Awakenings is 7 videos over 7 days. You can just relax, you can watch or you can close your eyes, receive the energetic changes, the activations and the healing. And each video supports a different aspect of awakening, a different challenge. We're tackling those every day. And the energy is released, healed and replaced for you on the soul level, the deepest level possible, the most important place to work. And it's going to teach your energies how to process energy much more easily, how to fully ground and reduce those overactive sensitivities. And it also brings you into theta brainwave, and that is the natural relaxed state that's responsible for rest, recuperation, restoration, but you'll still be completely awake and alert as this is happening. And it includes practical guiding, practical grounding guidance in the lessons that you can use straight away. They make a big difference. We've had some amazing reviews. Olivia told us that after applying some of those techniques, her symptoms were 80% better. 80% better. Really big improvements. Again, you can try it for free by clicking preview in the course curriculum. It's only available until tomorrow, so don't miss it. And I'd just like to say thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any questions about the course, if you have any questions about your empathy, if you have any questions about any of this, you can just comment in the box below and I will get back to you as best I can. And thank you so much for watching. See you guys soon.